spend more money on nostalgia and nostalgic things, trying to relive my childhood than I have on drugs. Um, well, to give context, this is Imaginator's Chaos. He came in the pack, like the dark edition, like where it came with Dark Kingpin, Dark Golden Queen, and it came with I think a couple other. I don't remember if it came with other figures, but I remember it came with this. It specifically came with Chaos, and I never used him for whatever reason because like I always just had him as kind of like a, oh, let me just put it on a shelf and it'll be cool. But that was when I was like 2016. That was like 10 years ago. So I was like 11. I was 11 in 2016. Jeez. I've been really just I came to this discussion yesterday because I was talking with one of my friends about sobriety and how he's kind of been struggling. Like he's finding himself having more money to do things because he's not spending them on drugs, alcohol, and I kind of get where he's coming from because I've had issues with that as well. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but I realized as I was kind of doing the numbers in my head, I've spent more money trying to regain a childhood that I was sort of convincing myself that I was happy in than I ever did on any kind of like drug, alcohol, any kind of vice, weed, cocaine, anything that I've ever had a problem with, anything that I've ever done, anything that I've ever like been somewhat addicted to or had issues with or had something have a negative effect on me, whether it be like alcohol, cocaine, weed, fucking pills, anything. Just any kind of vice that people my age are kind of 21 kind of supposed to experiment with. I have, and I've regretted it. I don't know why. Also, for anyone who's asking, the camera that I have right here, it's a very old webcam that I bought a while ago. I'm trying to edit it as I'm trying to like edit it as I don't know if that actually helped with anything. Oh god, it did not help with anything. Okay, this helped. Made my face less purple. I do not want to look like Thanos. But if anything, that actually reminds me. I'm just looking around my desk, and it's not exactly purple, but Optimus Prime from War for Cybertron. Great figure. Spent about $30 on this. Spent about $30 on this. And I'm actually gonna. I'll transform it as I'm talking about later stuff. My 3DS from when I was young that I modded to basically have all the games that I was never really able to afford. All in all, just like general upkeep and just being able to have what? Oh, shit, it's dead. I forgot to charge it. I had it all planned out because I was gonna be like, oh yeah, look at all this shit that I was never able to have as a kid. But no, of course I forgot to charge it. That set me back about maybe $40 because I had to pay for the SD card. I had to pay for the jig that I used to get into recovery mode, and also my PSP. This is not one that I had from when I was younger. The one I had, the battery and it exploded, so this was a replacement of pretty much the same model that I bought off eBay. Same kind of scenario. This set me back about $200, including the SD card and everything. And I spent $200 on that, literally just so I could play. And get ready for this. Not anything cool like Monster Jam, like not anything cool like Dissidia or like Raw vs. SmackDown vs. Raw. Fucking Monster Jam, Path of Destruction for the PSP. I've had this since I was a kid. And the most I've ever spent on any bottle of liquor, any, baggie of Coke, when I started realizing it was a problem, I had exceeded the $50 mark of, like, how much I was willing to spend on it, even if it was, like, cigarettes. Like, I kind of let it get to that point, and I was like, oh, shit, like, maybe there's some kind of problem. But I spent $35 on this, $30 on War for Cybertron Sideswipe, $30 on War for Cybertron Megatron, about $40 on, and if he will stay right, that'll be a miracle, Revenge of the Fallen, Legends class Devastator. He's really cool, and I've wanted him since I was a kid. Because I like the fact that, like, the head, the body, the torso, the arms, every single, like, limb, every single, like, bit of him is, like, its own figure and can turn into, like, oh yeah, this is Mixmaster, this is Scavenger, this is Scrapper, this is Long Haul, this is fucking Hightower, this is, I forget what the name of the guy in the middle is, like the bed truck. Someone will probably correct me on that. Yeah, $45 on that. $30 on this here Sea Spray, G1 Sea Spray. This Double Trouble figure, the Skylander. It is the Series 2 Wow Pow edition. It was released for Giants, and I think the Wow Pow thing is, like, he can do multiple of those, like, nukes. I don't remember exactly what his Wow Pow is. I'd have to go on before Dolphin, which actually ties into, I went on eBay and spent about $40, including shipping, on this PS4 Traptanium portal, because, of course, the one I had only works with Xbox. And even though I have all 6 games, I don't have the figures. I have all the figures, I have all the games, and I have all the portals. They don't work on Dolphin, and they don't work on Xenia either. And the reason I bring all this up is because I am genuinely not sure if I wasted my time. I am a pretty much grown man surrounded by things I will never be able, like, things from my childhood that I will never fully be able to let go of. Like, this right here is a flash drive that has, of course, what else? A copy of Tekken Tag Tournament 2 on Cemu, which is a Wii U emulator. It includes the ROM and the actual emulator for it, pretty much all set up. You just gotta plug it in and you're pretty much good to go if you're like me and you're, hopelessly lonely and you just feel like going into the public library and playing Tekken Tag Tournament 2, like the arcade mode, completely alone at like 10 frames per second on some shitty loaner laptop that you said was going to be for school, to the, I guess, dismay of people around you, because they're going to see a guy that should be living his life kind of in full, and they're going to look at you and be like, God, what the fuck is that guy doing? Like, this guy's surrounded by, like, this guy can't let go of shit that he was into when he was, like 10. And, I mean, there's reasons and reasons as to why I was never really able to let this shit go. And, I mean, like, maybe I could tell that to, like, a teenage version of myself, because, when I was some fucking shitty teenager, I didn't really want to do any of this. I didn't really want to go back. I was like, oh, like, no, I'm better than that. I'm better than all this stuff. I'm just gonna work like 40 hours a week, including going to high school, just smoking all day and working all night. Um, and as I got into college, now that I'm actually pretty much did the same thing, but now that I'm about to be done with my 2 year and moving on to my 4 year, I'm going from a education degree with a minor in psychology to a criminal justice degree. And I'm probably going to be majoring and minoring in that. And going on 10 years later, and all the stuff that I have is still kind of here. I mean, like, let me give an example. This Skylander Igniter, he is as you can tell by the green bottom, he's a Series 1, meaning that he came all the way from Spyro's Adventure. No wow pow, no gimmick, no nothing. If anything, I kept him in pretty good condition, but you can kind of, and of course my camera's not focusing, but you can kind of see like maybe little bits and details of like, parts on his body that might have been scuffed a little bit. Same thing with this Series 1 Trigger Snappy. You can see it more on this Series 1 Whisper Elf, that like right towards the eye. Like this eye in particular, I can't tell. No, it's not. It's not dirt. It is a legitimate mark that has probably been left from either keeping it in storage or, something or other. Maybe I just accidentally scraped it on something or got food on it because I was a fucking messy kid. And God, I got this back in like 2010 must have been. So I was like 5. And here I am. Fucking 20 years old, 21 years old. I've been pretty much through a lot of shit, man. I've been with several people. I've never felt comfortable bringing a girl over to my house because, I mean, if you look around, my entire room is a monument to a childhood that I never got to really live, so to speak. You can kind of see all the Armor Core model kits. Of course, the light's not working, so you're not really going to be able to see them well. Let me see if I can move this lamp. Oh, I can kind of see it. You can kind of make out 9-Ball over there. 9-Ball from Armor Core Variable Infinity, which was one of the games for the PS2, I think, that got re-released. The models actually got re-released and put on normal online shelves. It was $80. The most I've ever spent on alcohol was like when I was going out on a date with some girl that I met on Hinge and ordered about 4 Long Islands and ended up passed out drunk in my own bed with my shoes still on and surrounded by shit from my childhood that I was never really able to let go of. And some of this shit has been around for a long time. And I see these like mounting bits of, like, I don't even want to call it consumption. Because, this shit was my passion, you know? Like, I knew I knew the name of every single Transformer. When I played War for Cybertron on the fucking Xbox 360, back when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I I knew every fucking shortcut in the game. I knew every goddamn shortcut. I knew every turn. I knew it. I knew every escalation map. I knew I had pretty much all the characters maxed out. And I do it all solo because I didn't have Xbox Live until I was older. So I'd have to play by myself. And imagine that, you know, fuck, dude. If I'm like playing Smash Bros, maybe fucking Solid Snake is my friend. And I look back on that now and I'm like, fuck, have I really moved on? Have I really moved on? Like, has anything changed? Because, you know, of course I look different. I act different. I have different life experiences. I'm in a different stage of life. I have, you know, some friends. Not very many, but a handful. By the way, this is the, to not get too far off topic, but this is the finished Optimus Prime from Leader Class from War for Cybertron. I've wanted this figure for a while because if you look, you open up his chest, little matrix of leadership right there, which he got in the, I think, 5th mission in War for Cybertron. Like right after you, no, it's after you get the body of Zeta Prime, so that'd be like mission 6. Yeah, mission 6, because I know in mission 7, you're with Warpath and Ratchet as Optimus. No, you're with Warpath and Ironhide, and you have to go into the core of Cybertron to fight some big bug thing. I don't know what to do, man. This is all just me rambling. I'm not even drunk. I've been sober for quite a while. But have my addictions really gone away? Or have they just repackaged themselves and all this shit that I used to like as a kid? Like, you know, did I really need this Chandelure? Did I really need it? Did I really need it? You know, did I need this? Did I need those? Did I need this? I guess we'll never know. And, yeah, this is not me trying to make any claims about, oh yeah, this is my sign that I'm officially entering the 12-step program of nostalgia. No, it's gonna get worse. I'm going to probably end up ordering many more Transformers, many more Skylanders, many more Pokemon plushies or cards or anything like that. I'm currently working on modding this piece of shit Switch that I have. I even have I again bought the jig for it. Again, I'm also looking to use my hitbox that I got. My not brand new, but my fairly new hitbox that I got. It's got all these buttons and it's leverless, so I can play Tekken a little bit easier. And I think also certain Arc System works. I have a buddy of mine that actually, he plays Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and he only uses leverless. He's never used a hitbox, which I give him a lot of credit for. I wonder where it's all gonna go. I really would rather not have my entire adult life be just this. Fucking desk ornaments that I'm never gonna be able to get anywhere with. I know myself better. I know myself well enough to know that, you know, when I get back into the swing of work, I'm gonna end up getting way more tattoos. I already have the legendary skull from Halo. Should really fix my posture. It's not good. Should have fixed my posture a while ago, but whatever. Yeah, and this as well. I'm probably gonna get the cover of The Thing from 1982. I'm gonna get that on my leg or like on a different part, maybe like my bicep. I know, not a lot there, but I mean, I gotta do something instead of going to the gym. Yeah, like maybe like around like this part of my bicep, somewhere where like employers can't see it, but like it's still cool. And I know myself well enough to know that I'll do it all again. And that it's a cycle that I don't really think I'll ever break. I wish sometimes that this shit wasn't so cool. That I didn't view all this shit as so cool. Because then I would have never been here. Maybe I would have been, maybe I would have stuck with basketball. Maybe I would have been more consistent with the gym. Which, that actually reminds me, I'm probably gonna end up hitting the gym tomorrow after classes. It's leg day tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to, but whatever. Yeah. God forbid I ever have, well, not God forbid, if by some chance I ever have any kids, I really hope that they grow up with the shit that I did. Not in like I don't want you to experience anything new kind of a way, but the shit that I had was so cool, and like, I want a child to be able to, I want my kid, or whatever kid I end up in charge of, to experience the magic that I did when I booted up Halo 3 for the first time. Or how cool it felt when I was playing Smash Bros. And I saw Mario, fucking Cloud Strife. I saw Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. I loved Final Fantasy in the game with Mario. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. And then I saw the end of Fall. I want a kid to be able to experience the end of Fall Cybertron, where, it's Optimus Prime, and it's Optimus Prime and Megatron, and they're like battling it out on like the bridge of the bridge of the Ark, as it's like going towards a black hole, but also being like sucked in by a black hole. Dude, that was fucking awesome, man. I got to experience that when I was a kid, and it hit a lot harder because, I was an only child growing up. And when you don't really have a lot of people to share those memories with, you kind of only have yourself to share those memories with. And it shaped me. It shaped who I became. It shaped the person I still am. It shaped, how I see myself. Or it's like, when I was doing coke, I'd have Optimus Prime looking at me while I was going through line after line. As I was going through lines, I was just seeing Megatron looking back at me. Because I had posed him in a cool way, and I thought like, oh, this would be a cool little desk ornament. And as I looked up, and my fucking nose was all powdery, eyes were fucking baggy as I tried to keep myself awake, because I knew that the moment I closed my eyes, I'd just have my entire vision be flooded with all the regrets that I was never really able to really man up and face. Um, that one day, all these things would look back at me, and I just think to myself, I'd be like, do they remember? Man, it's like, this is gonna sound fucking gay, but like, you remember Toy Story? I remember Toy Story. I thought the first three movies are pretty good. And speaking of toys, Megatron, Orpher, Cybertron, Megatron. I think this part goes up. Yeah. Megatron and Optimus, full set. All the fucking posters in my room of shit that I was never really able to get over. They have eyes. The poster that I have of, of fucking Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask has eyes, and they're looking at me. They're looking at me as I'm wasting away. Instead of moving on, I'm staying still. And I wonder if, in some backwards way, that's a set of eyes looking at me. I probably need to go to sleep. Because I got a critique in the morning for my photography class. I just had to shoot a whole roll of film and develop it in like one of those little dark rooms. Which reminded me of Silent Hill 2 in a weird way. Because I don't remember if it was Silent Hill 2 or Silent Hill. I think it might have been Silent Hill 2 where they had like the. Actually, shit, now that I think about it. Whichever one it was, maybe it was like Resident Evil 7 or something like that, they had like a puzzle on the wall where there was like x-ray scans on the wall, like scattered around the room and on the wall, and you needed to piece them together to try and find out where in this guy's body a key is located, because of course you can't just dig around there, you gotta know where you're looking. And I really don't remember what game that's from. Maybe it's not from Resident Evil or Silent Hill. Maybe it's from fucking Dead Space. I didn't even realize it. I should know. I played that game when I was a kid. I played a lot of those games when I was a kid. We don't have anyone else to talk to. Art and media kind of become your lifeblood. I should probably go back to bed. And even though I say that, I will probably stay up rewatching Evil Dead 2 and then Army of Darkness. Because I like doing that as like a double feature. Fucking amazing movies, those are. I hope I end up like Ash Williams someday. Not like Bruce Campbell. He ain't doing the best.